The OECD downgrades its forecast for most of the world's leading economies, calling the Eurozone crisis the biggest threat to global recovery. Joining me from Paris, OECD Chief Economist Pier Carlo Padoan. Mr. Padoan, many thanks for talking with Reuters. What do we need to see from Mario Draghi today?
We need to see clear indications that a new mechanism to intervene in bond markets is set up so that the systemic risk component of spreads in peripheral countries is eliminated and fundamentals generate the funding cost situation and help readjusting the euro area imbalances.
And do you think we will see that?
Well, I do hope, because this is needed, and I think this is to be seen in conjunction with the commitment of countries under stress to continue with their structural adjustment and fiscal consolidation programs.
And how short-term a solution is this?
Well, that is not a permanent solution, of course. If we accept the view that this is systemic risk, then you have to address systemic factors, including strengthening monetary union to a banking union, a stronger fiscal compact discipline, and, of course, as I said, countries doing their homework in terms of consolidation and structural adjustment.
What is the OECD's forecast now in terms of how long this weakening that we're seeing in the Eurozone will continue?
Well, we are just sharing short-term numbers today, so we can anticipate that the rest of the year looks gloomy for the euro area with negative growth, and also it's weakening in the United States and also weakening in large emerging economies, which are feeling the blunt of the euro area crisis and recession.
And to what degree, we talk about the US in slightly more positive terms, but to what degree does a likely or continuing political impasse in the US hinder competitiveness, hinder growth and hinder innovation there?
Well, the US, as everybody knows, have a very short-term problem which needs to be solved by politicians and legislators. That is the fiscal cliff. If that is not resolved, the US risks plunging into a recession next year. Well, now it's growing around 2%. In the longer term, what the US need is to sustain competitiveness and adopt a credible long-term fiscal consolidation plan.
How hopeful are you that we will see a solution in the US in the next few months?
We will see a solution, but this will not be painless. We're already seeing confidence going down, holding back investment in the business sector, especially in manufacturing, because of uncertainty about the fiscal situation.
You and I have talked about labour market reform in the past. It's something else that is a clear focus of this report. Have you heard anything that comforts you, and what more do you need to see?
Well, first of all, the unemployment situation remains a source of concern. Unemployment is rising in the euro area, remains high in the US, and could be even higher in the shorter term because we are not sure about current figures. We think that they're too optimistic. So there needs to be more support to growth in the US and more structural adjustment in the euro area labor markets.
Had policymakers and politicians heeded the OECD's call 18 months ago, would we be in a better position now?
Well, I think so, because we have been calling all the time for the concomitants of macroeconomic, fiscal adjustment and structural reforms. Structural reforms have started in a number of countries, which means that we think that good news may come up sooner rather than later in terms of stronger underlying growth. But we should have started earlier than what policymakers actually did.
How soon, just to finish up with, how soon is sooner when you say the good news?
Well, we could see something coming up towards the end of next year.
Pier Carlo Padoan from the OECD, many thanks for talking with us. Join us at midday every weekday for Market Pulse, a snapshot of what's moving on financial markets and why. I'm Axel Threlfall, this is Reuters.